Have you been confused about the Starch Solution, about the 50-50 plate? Well, I may have some answers for you, so stick around. Hi, Debbie Chu here from Chew on Vegan, and welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new here, I'm a plant-based RN and I follow the Starch Solution. I've been following the Starch Solution since January of 2020, where I was able to lose those last 15 pounds. If you'd like more information on the Starch Solution, I will leave a link in the description box below. On my channel, you're going to find quick and easy whole food plant-based recipes that are no oil and also gluten-free. So if that all sounds good to you, please subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss any videos, which I do post every Tuesday and Saturday. And for more plant-based content, follow me on Instagram at Chew on Vegan. And if you're new to this way of eating or just feel like you need some more support, I started a Facebook group, and in that group you will find recipes, inspiration, and support. I will leave a link to the Facebook group in the description box below. And if you're still not convinced that a plant-based diet is right for you, I created a free e-guide that outlines why a plant-based diet is right for you, and I will leave a link to that in the description box below. I wanted to do this video because I get a lot of comments and questions on my YouTube channel, in the Facebook group, and on Instagram, and I feel like some people are confused about the Starch Solution and about the 50-50 program, especially if you're brand new to all this. It can be very overwhelming and very confusing. The first thing I think that everyone needs to do before they start the Starch Solution is to read The Starch Solution by Dr. John McDougall. That will answer most of your questions. Dr. McDougall does an amazing job at explaining the Starch Solution, explaining why it works, the science behind it. He gives you case studies, he gives you examples, recipes. So it's all in that book, and that's where I started, and I still reference that book to this day. I've read it many times, and I think it's very important that you do read that. If you don't want to buy the book, you can get it at your local library, and you could get it on Audible. There's different ways that you can get the book. I always tell people that's the #1 place to start. The second thing I tell people is that it's a process. It's about progress, not perfection. And I didn't do it overnight. I have been vegan for 10 years, but I went through many phases of being a vegan and eventually ending up at a whole food plant-based, no oil way of eating. And I think it's very important that you do this in small increments. Unless you're the type of person that likes to do everything overnight and just boom, get it done. But most people are not like that. You have a lifetime of habits that you're trying to change, and that doesn't happen overnight. So I tell people to just start incorporating more vegetables into your day, into your diet, and then reduce the amount of meat, dairy, and eggs in your diet. And if you need to do, like, you're going to eliminate meat first, then you're going to eliminate dairy first, then you'll eliminate eggs. I think if you do things in small increments, it doesn't make it so overwhelming. And you can do that over a couple of months and kind of ease your way into it, and it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Yes, for maximum weight loss you do want to do the program 100%, but you're still going to lose weight if you adopt most of the principles of the Starch Solution. And nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect, and you've seen in my videos that I've gained a few pounds here. I kind of went overboard on things here. And the beauty of the Starch Solution is that you can just get right back on, get right back into it. And it's definitely something that is a lifestyle. It isn't a diet, it isn't a quick fix. It's something that you're going to do, and you're able to sustain it for the rest of your life. And you will be a healthier person for it. So start small and do it in small increments. And don't be so hard on yourself. You might have one day that you are absolutely perfect, and then the next day, not so much. So just the next meal or the next day, get back on it. Another thing that I suggest is educate yourself. Learn about nutrition. Learn about the low calorie density scale. And this one is a really good example. There's others on the internet. If you just type in low calorie density, a bunch of them will come up. Find one that works for you, put it on your refrigerator so you know what are the lower calorie density foods, and then keep those under 600 calories. and avoid the ones that are over 600 calories, and do that on a consistent basis. And that's what I did. I had it on my refrigerator, and it was a good reminder that I might not want to eat that. I'm still trying to lose weight. You know, once you get into maintenance, then sure, you can go in and add the avocados and the walnuts and the nut butters here and there. For me, I can't really do that because I do gain weight. So most of my meals, I do keep the foods that are 600 calories or less. So I don't eat a lot of avocado. I don't eat a lot of nut butters. I don't really eat a lot of nuts and seeds. I do eat some, but it's not like a main staple of my diet. But that's just me personally, and you have to figure out what works for you. And that brings me to the next point is don't compare yourself to other people. Don't look at what I'm eating and think that, oh, I'm gonna eat exactly like she eats and I'm gonna lose weight. That might not be the case. You know, there's a lot of people on the internet, on YouTube, that can eat a lot of food, maybe eat nut butters, avocados and all that at every meal, and they're not going to gain weight. You know, a lot of factors are involved. You know, your age, your activity level, your stress level, all those things play a part. So don't compare yourself to other people. For example, I'm 65 years old, so I can't compare myself to somebody that's in their 30s. Of course, their metabolism is working probably at a faster rate than mine because it does slow down as you get older. It doesn't mean that it's impossible to lose weight when you get older. You just have to go about it in a different way, and it might take you a little bit longer. So it's always best just to focus on yourself and what you're doing and what works for you. Now, it's great to get inspiration from other people, but don't feel bad because you're not doing what they're doing and you're not losing weight at the rate that you think you should. Another point I like to make with people when they have these questions is to do the 50-50 plate. Half your plate starches, the other half non-starchy vegetables. But that doesn't mean that that has to be every single meal. You don't have to be so black and white. There's some gray areas. So if, for instance, for breakfast, you don't like to eat vegetables, so you're just going to have like oatmeal and some fruit, totally fine. Not everyone wants to eat veggies at breakfast. If you can, that's great, but that's not for everyone. And lastly, I just want to say food prep. Food prepping is one of the most important things you can do to be successful. And I do this every Sunday without fail. And I have been doing it even before I went whole food plant-based, even before I went on the Starch Solution, I would food prep. It was very important for me to have all my food with me when I was at work, to have it all in the refrigerator. When I come home from work, I unpack my bag and then I repack it before I even sit down. Before I start dinner, before I do anything, that's the first thing I do when I walk in the door. I don't change my clothes, I don't sit down, nothing. Right in the kitchen, make my lunch for the next day, stick it in the fridge. Okay, now I can make myself some dinner and move on with my evening. And that's what works for me. You have to find what works for you. If you only want to prep on Sunday till Wednesday and then do it again on Wednesday, that's fine. I do that too. Sometimes I don't prep for the whole entire week. I just prep for 3 days or 4 days. And then in the middle of the week, I'll do some more. So make sure that you have food prepped, that the things in your house are healthy, whole food, plant-based. You want to clear out all the other things that are tempting to you. And if you live with other people that aren't on this program, you need to have a heart-to-heart with them, explain to them what you're doing, and ask for their support and for their help. You need support and you need help. And that doesn't mean that they have to do what you're doing, but they need to keep their food in another area, whatever, on another shelf, another drawer in the refrigerator, so you can get into your routine. And soon it will be second nature. You will do this without even thinking. And of course, you can join my Facebook group. The link will be down below. You can get a lot of support there from other people that are at different stages, that are doing what you're doing, like-minded people, and it's a great place to get inspiration and support, and it's absolutely free to join. These are just a few points that I had been thinking about because I had been getting a lot of questions, and I love getting your questions. You can DM me, you can do it through the Facebook group or comments on the YouTube videos that I make. I address 99.9% of all of the questions and the comments. So I do make a point of doing that. I think it's really important to have that relationship with my followers. I'm here to help you, and if you're confused or overwhelmed, let me know and I will point you in the right direction. So that's all for now. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please leave me a comment below. I will sign off my usual way. All my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet, and what you put on your plate determines your fate and your weight. Until next time, thank you.